Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I have a review of RimWorld for you. In a word, what is RimWorld? So RimWorld is a sci-fi colony scene driven by an intelligent AI storyteller, or it's what they tell us on the RimWorld official website. You actually follow three colonies, or if you choose a higher difficulty, you have just one. These colonies, they build a new colony on a planet on the ring of the known space. So they are not actually settlers, they are just survivors from a spaceship that fell into this new world, which is habitable. It's also inspired on a space western style of Firefly, and if you know the TV show or the book, and the deep simulation of Dwarf Fortress. What are your goals in the RimWorld? So you actually have to, and I have to emphasize this, there is a lot of management going on in here. So you manage your colonist moods and needs. I think these are the major points in the game. You manage individual wounds and illness. So depending on where you choose the initial location of your settlement or your colony in this new world, you will have different temperatures. So obviously it's a planet, so closer to uh, their poles it's colder, closer to the equator it's hotter, and you have forests, you have deserts, you have a lot of different environments that will affect your gameplay, and these environments will also bring you a different ecosystem as well. So you have different animals, different issues, illnesses, for example, different pests, disease, all that kind of stuff. Depends on where you land on the planet. To answer some of the biggest questions here, there is no easier place to start. I think it's just a matter of what you understand of the game and how you play it. So you have to try a few times so you can understand what you're doing and how you're doing it. You also have different factions around the planet. Some of them will be your friends, some of them will help you, some of them are just raiders, and some of them are pirates. So you have to deal with all that. But one important thing that we say in here is that the story is driven by an intelligent AI storyteller. So what does that actually mean? You have three storytellers to choose from. You have one that's very carefully paced, so things happen in a way that you can manage, you can still survive. Then you have a building oriented storyteller, which lets you build a little bit more instead of throwing challenges at you all the time. And you also have uh, the a very unpredictable random storyteller, which is called Randy. If you look on the internet, he's very famous because it throws you everything you can imagine and can't imagine at the same time. And it's a very, very hard way to play this game. It's just for very experienced players, and I'll definitely suggest that you use Cassandra, which is a carefully paced Cassandra Classic, just a classic mode, or the building oriented flip Chillax. Although it has Chillax in the name, don't get too comfortable in there because there will be issues. Again, this game is a storytell based game, so they will throw you things to cause drama, to cause issues for you to try to solve and to help your survivors or settlers or whatever you want to call it, get through all this. So they have issues against themselves, they'll have issues with other factions, they'll have issues with the environment. So all this can happen and will be all thrown at you by the storyteller. This is not a game to sit comfortably and just build and see how much you can do. No, there will be always something happening. Well, this is the basics of the game. Obviously, the difficulty of this game, I wouldn't say that's easy. There is also a learning curve in there, which is kind of not so hard to get because the system has a very interesting, very important as well, tutorial in the game. Not just that, when you're playing the game, it sees what you're trying to do in the game and it gives you hints and smaller tutorials in game so you can know how to do specific things. So for example, how to use energy, or how to tame animals, how to plant, and all those kind of stuff. Although it's a hard game to play and there is a lot happening, there is a lot of details and information, it's an easy learning curve, although it's a long one, because there is a lot of things that you can do during the game. The graphics of the game, I think they actually work very well with this style. I think this style brings us a lot more focus on the management and on the storytelling, which is the most important thing in the game. So no issues with graphics at all, and it's very pleasant to see the game the way it is. A very important thing that I'll tell you is never say it's going well, because every single time I did say that, something happened in seconds, really seconds. So you don't sit idle, you don't leave the game open and go away. No, if it's going well, it's gonna change, because the storyteller knows that it's time to send you something else or something to happen. Because again, this is a story-based game, and if there is no story happening, it's a boring game, and by any means, it's a boring game. There is always something happening. If you want to take a look at it, I have my first colony. I made a series of them, and you can see on the link here on the screen, and you see that every time I say, oh, it's fine, oh, we'll get through this, something happened. It's fun. You have to be open for things to go wrong all the time. This is what this game is about. It's not to build the perfect colony. It's actually to survive all the drama and everything that happens in the world that you just arrived. Looking at the issues and bugs that the game has, as I'm used to play games in early access, this is not early access anymore. It also have one DLC that came out not long ago, and this is a very stable game. I haven't seen any bug or any major issues that would make me worry about the state of the game or about what I'm doing, if it's worth or not. And this is on a very good state, so that's a great job from Ludion Studios, which makes this game, and I really enjoy it. Another important point on this game are the mods. Although I haven't used any mods on my first run, the community is huge on modding as well. From everything, from furniture to behaviors and background stories for characters and everything you can imagine, that is a mod for that. The community is very active, and there is a bunch of different things. Funny, dark, helpful, silly, you can find everything in the workshop and Steam workshop for this game. It just makes the game even more enjoyable and adds another layer of challenge in that as well if you like it. So I'll definitely recommend you taking a look at that. I just want to learn more and more about the game before I start adding mods or changing the behavior or a few things. But I definitely recommend looking into that, and you'll see that in the future on the new series I'll definitely have some mods enabled as well. Finally, the big question, is it worth buying it? It's a huge yes. I think definitely you would enjoy it and you have a lot of fun. You clock like many hours on this game. I don't have enough hours in there yet, I think, based on other games that I played and have been playing. But it's definitely something that I want to put a lot more time into it because there's so much happening. Like there is always something different and it's surprising all the time. And I'm just having like a very good time with that. I should mention about mods as well, that there is a mod for a cooperative multiplayer game. This game is not multiplayer, but there is a mod that you can play on the same base with a friend. So it just like, again, adds another level to it and makes it even more worthy. For me, it's a huge yes. I like the graphics. I like how balanced the difficulty is. It's not so easy, but like that's the challenge that keeps you coming back and learning more and trying different things. And I think that's a huge yes. You would just enjoy the game if you do it. Let me know in the comments if you played that before or if you have any other questions about this game, and I'll happily answer them for you, and we can have a discussion about colonies, the story, or Randy throwing you 1,000 issues at the same time. Thanks for your time, and I hope you enjoy this review on RimWorld, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!